Hello and welcome to Warblog. This is a mind-blowing feature development video. Mind-blowing because this morning I had no idea I'd be doing something like this. I had a great idea towards the middle of the day to basically introduce sort of annotations onto the map. I had a little scribble on Google. I found a little script that someone else had written based on jQuery, if you know anything about the magics of the internet. And within my incredibly tight schedule, I managed to basically figure it out and implement it in probably under an hour. That's pretty impressive, so it's pretty exciting. So you're thinking, well, what is he talking about? Well, as you know, I do a lot of the videos, and on this one, I really wanted to try and tell you about where the fiddly what's it was, the what do you call it, the salient, as they call them, and I sort of did that with my mouse. But anyway, to cut a long story short, we've got annotations now. So to annotate, you click the magic thing that pops up the extra thing, and you can see the magic annotation button. Click it, and then bingo. So what we've got here is the ability to draw onto the map like that, and then sort of say, well, okay, we've got the line there, it goes down here, goes down here, down here, down here, down here. Now, I haven't got all the features of this. There are other things. For example, I could change the colour of the line, so you have a colour palette and an eraser. I'm not bothering with all that, especially at this moment. I'm just more excited that I've got it. So basically now you can see quite clearly with my annotation what I'm talking about. So it takes me to the next level, really. Now, to turn it off, I just toggle it. Now, if I toggle it back on, I've still got it. If I refresh the page, it's gone. And I have to start again. Now, there's no mouse tip on it, but that doesn't matter. I might be able to change that. So there's scope for development on this, but I'm incredibly excited. So I can do things like sort of say, well, I mean, what I was trying to convey on this particular map, for example, was this might be a particular battle group, and I might give it a frontage like this, you know, just to sort of, and then give it a line, an arrow pointing this way. So that would be my battle group heading here, and then I might have another battle group here going this way. And so basically I would be creating a front line. You know, I'm just messing around here with some obvious annotations. But the important thing is, well, it's obviously has a lot of different applications and a lot of different potential. But I think what it's really going to be useful for is for the sort of the concept of the AAR, after action reports. It's not something I want to be doing a lot more of, or any of, or anything like that. But I certainly want to be sort of possibly doing this and then doing a screenshot. And I mean, in the back of my mind, I've always, not a lot of people play this game, but I've always had the idea that people would start playing it and get really excited, and then you know, create after action reports. I mean, quite so 500,000 people might even play the games on YouTube, just like I do, and then I'd have to get all excited about that and maybe beat them or something. But basically, it's all about, you know, if you're dealing with something, and I'm going to refresh that. If you're dealing with something and you want to convey what your ideas are, this is a brilliant tool. So you can sort of say, for example, that this is a no man's land, because there's no roads, etc, etc. So let's just maybe take it to another game. Let's maybe jump into this lump here. Okay, let's try this one because I think it's got a nice big map, or biggish map. So again, I can't quite remember what happens here, but off the top of my head I will try to pretend I remember. So we've got this little group here who, oops, turn that on first. Let's turn it off. Click off the map, turn it on. There's no real way of knowing whether it's on or off, but not hard to figure out. So that's the initial line to start off with. They take that and then they move into here. These units then route back to there, and these units essentially come over to here. And then there are reinforcements from here and then they come down here and take that, and meanwhile these units come up this way. Now obviously my little sort of maps and schematics aren't brilliant, but I'm really excited, and please bear in mind that an hour ago I didn't even know whether this would work. It's such a sexy little additional tool that I just can't stop thinking how awesome I am for having done it. You know, I don't know. Let's just choose this Uganda one. I'm not going to labour this point much further, but obviously here we've got, oops, let's play it. So we go into awesome play mode, and once in play mode we select the annotation feature. So obviously we come up through here, our forces rip through there and then up along this road, and then historically this was quite a big defensive line across here because these are swamps, and so it's difficult getting here. But to sort that out, what they did, they went around, and they probably went around this road. It doesn't really matter how they do it because we just, for the sake of the argument, and then basically they did then move into whatever that place there is. So I could switch it off, or I could leave it on, and I could toggle. I can toggle map mode. Oh, look at that! And then, you know, I mean, that's pretty much all there is to do. And then we take Kampala. I'm excited about this. So I'm not going to do any more on this, but I will upload this, and I think we have a new dawn arising, or a new epoch of annotated war blog YouTube videos. Isn't it going to get exciting? I think it is. Okay, I'll I'll speak to you later. Cheers, bye.